Get it out, get it out, get it out. Ironically, the same thing I said when I had a nail through my hand. Okay. Work out. Try your best when it comes time for the quiz itself. If you are not ready, you are not ready. You have the capability to thump and write. I know. You, on the other hand, if you feel ready, like you're still going to do the quiz today, I'll just have you sit at my desk and then you just verbalize it for me. I'll write it. Okay? Page 18. Page 18. You know, the thing we did in class? Oh, hey! There it is. What's up, bud? Yeah, you were. Hit that like, smash that bell. Join our Patreon. Legit, all of our lessons are on YouTube. I record a class.
He also sends them on the line.
Yeah.
Okay? It's all there. Now, no, if you ain't ready because you haven't done the last 2 days of stuff, then I don't want you doing it. But it is your responsibility to get that taken care of because we were only going to have 2 quizzes. I double checked. I remember someone was asking about midterm checks.
Yeah, this is the only grade, right?
We're going to fit 2. The other one will be right like the day of.
What is it?
Grade checks.
No, I know 30, but like, what about some that way off the class?
So 30th is there. What's today? The 13th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. We will have our second quiz will be on Thursday the 29th. So we'll have 2 of them in the gradebook. And this packet will be in the gradebook.
But the test will outweigh the packet.
Oh, yeah. By a lot. Now, remember, when it comes time for grades, remember in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. The daily quizzes that we take, or the daily check, right, at the beginning class, 10% of your grade. Doing the homework and notes, which is all in class, 10% of your grade. The final, 10% of the grade. Yeah, it's just a border buster. I don't want one test that's worth like 30% of your grade. That's mean. The open notes, open everything. We review it right before you do it and get a review that looks exactly like it. Tell yourself how to do it. Quizzes, 70%. Now, until we take that final, that means this one isn't there yet. So until we take the final, there's 9 boxes there, 2 ninths, or 0.18, 18% of your grade is daily work, which leaves 7 ninths, right? Yeah, 7 ninths is 0.63636. Oh yeah, this is 27%. Wow, I'm tired. Okay. I'm going to do a lot of basic arithmetic wrong. It's been like 2 weeks straight of Baby Bear getting us up in the middle of the night, being up for like an hour and a half with him in the middle of the night. Just found out this morning, double ear infection. So if y'all going to get brownie points and finally get on the board, like, get vicious. Okay? You catch me doing something wrong, before I catch it, you win. Because by the end of the day, the ADHD meds are starting to hit the low. We're reviewing stuff that they already know. And, low battery. So, okay. Until you take your final, you're looking at a 27-63 split on your grade. 27% is your daily work, the stuff we do every day. 63% is going to be the quizzes like we're about to do. Okay? So, yes, the quizzes will very much outweigh it. That means if you can't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this one quiz, because there's not going to be a lot in the grade book, is going to be worth 35% of that midterm check. Okay? It's going to be worth a lot. Good thing it's only 6 problems and they're easy and we're about to review it and you get to tell yourself how to do it and there's a bunch of notes allowed and the notes are still over here. There's no reason that we should have anyone in this room under a C on this. Okay? So, to the homework, I said before we do a daily quiz, I want you to check the thing. Check your stuff. Page 18. Okay, check it. Myself, Miss Karen, we ended up doing a lot of these with you. There was a good number of you that we probably did half the assignment with you, and that's okay. We want to do the assignments in class where you can get help. But I want you to take a peek at them. Those are answers only. We've talked about this a few times now. There's a big difference between I have the answers written on my paper versus I have the work to back it up. When I come around and look at papers and I see the kid that I know was just kind of goofing off and not doing too much during work time in class has all of the answers and none of the work to back it up, you can bet that when it comes time to put that mark on there for the assignment completion, you ain't getting full credit because I know you didn't do it, you just copied it down. However, if you write the correct answers there and then you go back later and do the work, or you do it with any one of the number of teachers. Okay, we've got like 5, 6 teachers in our resource block. You've got your Spartan time teachers. There's another 5 math teachers. There's me, before school, after school, lunch, Spartan time. Take a picture of what you're working on, send it to me on Remind. I'm up at 2 in the morning now, so I'll answer you. Okay? So, star them, mark them, whatever. And then, number 11 through 19, are there any of those that we need to go through? Yes, sir.
I was gonna say 13 because on my paper I did 5, and then I thought you had to do like 8 minus 7.
Okay, 8 minus 7 is what? What's 5 to the first? 5. So you were there, maybe just didn't finish it off. Okay? Yeah?
16.
16? Okay. I had a lot more success with kids playing the Who's Got More game, where instead of, you can write this out as 2, put your x's together and say x to the, remember you'll subtract them. 3 minus 8, x divided by x, exponent divided by exponent, we subtract. There's our rule, number 5. And then 4 minus 3 is y to the first. So when you clean it up, remember, this guy's too negative. Make him go downstairs. I don't need to write the 1. This idea of I subtract them and then deal with the negatives, makes some kids a little sketchy. A different way to do that is just to ask, look at the x's, who's got more? Who's got more x's? Okay. The denominator, 8 x's. Okay, this one's a hoe. So I'm going to get rid of this and turn that into a 5. How much more does it have? It's got 5 more. Then I look at the y's. I say, who's got more? Top side's got more by 1. And then you write it. There's a 2 and a y. There's an x to the 5th. If you just ask, who's got more? Sometimes that works a little bit easier.
The numbers will tell you.
Yeah, they do. They're right there.
They don't speak to you.
If you're going to be that pedantic, it's going to be a long semester. You want to be a super senior? Come on, dude. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Anything else, 11 through 19? Did we write down those steps? Take care of the exponent outside parentheses first. Rearrange things if you have to. Multiply like exponents by adding their exponents. Deal with the negatives. We wrote those steps down last time, I hope. The triangle one, I know I did that with probably 5 or 6 of you at least. You just take this thing divided by that thing, just like the example in number 10 on the page before this. It's just another version of this. Okay, 21, same thing, this divided by this and simplify it. This divided by this and simplify it. Sometimes when you simplify them, a bunch of stuff goes away too. You look at 125 over 5, that's regular number land. So just reduce the fraction. 125 over 5 is 25. Look at the x's and say, who's got more? That guy's got more by 1. Look at your y's. You say, who's got more? They're the same. Well, what's anything over itself? 1. That's why it disappears. Also, 4 minus 4 is 0, and we know anything to the 0 power is 1. Below that, vocabulary and a little bit of thanking. Number 24, there was an actual answer, like a correct answer. We've run into a couple where there were multiple. What do you add to 7 to make 0? You two need to, like, we need to split up the dream team here? Okay. In that packet, y'all have the graph paper towards the back where we've been writing our daily quizzes. This will be round 3. 3 sections, 3 daily quizzes. Go back there and you're going to label. Here we go. Get them. Press record again. And we say, step 1. Y'all, I want you writing these steps down if you haven't written them down 15 times already. Step 1. If I ever see stuff to an exponent and I got parentheses, I have to take care of that first. You know what? Actually, let's color code these. So, first thing I'm going to do is take care of, there's a 4 touching the parenthesis. That means everybody's getting that. Okay? So you get a 4, and you get a 4. And what do I do with an exponent to an exponent? Follow your laws. Which ones it look like? Exponent to an exponent.
Oh, you add. Wait. Oh, yeah.
Exponent to an exponent.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm adding them together, that's when it's exponent times exponent, like this guy. Okay, so I'm going to take 3 times 4 and get b to the 12th. Up top, I can't really do anything about that yet. 40, a to the 4th, b to the 8th. Step 2. You rearrange it. Turtles with turtles, giraffes with giraffes. If I have numbers, I want them with numbers. If I've got x's, I want them with x's. If I've got y's, I want them with y's. I'm going to put these two right on top of each other. 40 over, what is 2 to the 4th? Mm-hmm. So what's 2 times 2? Times 2. Times 2. 16. Okay. And then just make sure that everything's lined up. I've got a to the 4th over a to the 4th. I've got b to the 8th over b to the 12th. Step 2 is just make sure that if I need to rearrange stuff, I do that. You don't always have to rearrange it. In fact, the better we get with these, we're going to be able to start ignoring step 2 because we can just know numbers go with numbers, even if there's stuff in between them. Okay, step 3 is if I've got x's by x's, I'm going to add their exponents. If I've got y's by y's, then I'm going to subtract them. Okay? I'm going to take care of anything that goes together. And numbers with numbers. 40 over 16 can be reduced. What's a number that goes into both of them? I heard someone say 2. You said 4. Both of those are true. 8 goes in there. Does 16 go into both? I don't know too many people who can count by 16s. Okay. 8 is the largest number that goes into both. 40 divided by 8 is 5. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Okay. So I'll reduce that part. What's 4 minus 4? 0. What's anything to the 0 power? Womp. 1. And then, what is 8 minus 12? Remember our rule, exponent over exponent, rule number 5. Close. What is 8 minus 12? Negative 4. But that is rule number, or step number 4, is if I've got any negative exponents, your 2 negative go downstairs. Or if there's a negative downstairs, it comes upstairs. It goes wherever the people who are ticking it off aren't. Okay? So this guy is going to go downstairs. And that's why instead of writing this green part, I could have gone straight to yellow if you had played the who's got more game. You'd say who's got more? Well, the bottom, it's bigger. By how much? 4. So you just write b to the 4th on the bottom and you're good to go. So when you score, Step 1. Did you distribute the 4 to all of the denominator? Step 2. All of the denominator. I'm going to say you gave that 4 to the entire denominator, and I'm going to add another point for you. Did it by multiplying those exponents instead of adding them, because that's a pretty common error. And after that, it is literally just, did you get this to 5 halves? Did you see that those canceled out? Did you take these two and either do the who's got more game or subtracted but then threw your negative downstairs? So it's kind of like 2 for the initial startup of it, 3 for you got each part of it right for the final answer. Okay. Now remember, if you get this part wrong, but you did all of this stuff, I look at the process. What happens if you screwed up the original back here and you only gave the 4 to the b? Well, now you've got 40 a to the 4th b to the 8th over 2ab to the 12th. Can you still simplify that by saying this over this is 20? This over this is a to the 3rd. This over this is a b to the 4th downstairs, and say 20a to the 3rd over b to the 4th. If you had simplified this thing correctly, even though what you had was incorrect, you still did these 3 pieces correctly. I would only take one off. Okay? And if you're not sure, you can always ask. That is way too loud. Dang, dude.
What?
Yes.
Well, I can't even hear it.
Yeah, it's not mine.
You pressed something and it stopped making noise, so. Okay. Yes, it is. I told you this. Day 1. Like friggin' Wolverine, dude. What sucks is you can't turn it off. So that also means stuff like that light bulb buzzing drives me nuts all day long. If any of you plug in any of your phone chargers into the outlets, if there's a certain type of capacitor in the charger itself, it squeals at me and gives me a migraine. I can hear all that stuff. So, I would like you to get your notes out and ready. We are going to give you a review. I said you get a review that looks just like your quiz. Yes! You tell yourself how to do it.
Don't worry, this is the review.
This review. I literally put stuff on the review, then change the numbers, and now it's a quiz. All right, it's going to be nice and tame. Yes! How many times do I have to say? Everything in my room is open, everything. Every quiz you take, every daily quiz you take, your final, open everything. I want you to be supported. Memorization is not learning. It's, yes. It is like, if you need resources to remember a thing, then use the resources. Can you still do the thing? Yo, ADHD, go brr. I need 3 different alarms. I've got, my watch has 4 different alarms on it right now. My phone has about 6 different alarms that go off every day that tell me to do things. I've got it written down in my notebook, and then my wife texts me to make sure I did it anyway. I have to do all of this stuff so I remember to do things. Can I still do the thing? Okay? So please, as we go through this review, I want you doing it right. I want you writing stuff down. Here we go. Round one, if you go back to section 1.1, we've got a bunch of properties written down. Flip your notes back to section 1.1. Okay? It's like page 1 or 2. Okay? 4. Oh, I suppose you got like table of contents, that kind of stuff in front of it. The first 2 questions are just name the property shown. Just tell me what property it is. These are literally, I want you to take this thing, look at your paper, and tell me what rule are they following. Yes! No! So, 1 times a thing is that thing. What property is that? Okay, it's something of multiplication because I use multiplication. It's the something property of multiplication. It's what? Identity. Okay? Yo, I'm serving this up on a platter here. Follow along, write it down. It's an easy A if you just follow it. Okay? Part B. What changed? Be careful. What changed from this side to this side? Did they change the order? Did they change the grouping? Did they give everyone a car? What? I see 3, 6A. 3, 6A. All right, so the order is the same. What did change? Grouping. They switched the parentheses. Look at page 1 of your notes. Look at the properties and say, what says I'm allowed to change the grouping? Which of those properties? Associative. Say it loud and proud. You're right. Associative property of what? Okay. Okay. The associative property of multiplication. Hey, a really good note to put next to these problems would be, remember to say multiplication or addition. You don't want to get 1 point off because all you said was associative. You didn't say associative of multiplication. Tell yourself that. Big flashing neon sign, you know, like when you're free worlding and it turns out there's a guy over here with a giant neon arrow on his head. Hey, look, there's a side quest. Okay? Tell yourself. Okay, look right next to it. Which property? Look back at that page. What property says 55 plus 6 is the same as 65 or 6 plus 55? There you go. Yo, you can abbreviate. Just remember, we don't want ass prop times, right? Like if you're going to abbreviate something like associative, abbreviate it reasonably. B, be careful. What are they doing?
They switched it.
3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 3. It looks like distributive, but did they actually give this the 3 and give that the 3? Okay, we ran across a few of these where they look like it might be distribution because it's got multiply and add in the same thing. It looks like it'll be, but if I had this and then 3 times 4 plus 3 times 5, Okay, now that's distribution because I gave both of them a 3. That's not what this says. So you have to tell me what changed. Did they change the grouping or did they change the order? They changed the order. 3, 4, 5 became 4, 5, 3. They changed the order. 3 plus thing became thing, oh wait, times, all right, times 3. The plus is just there to mess with you. Look at it. 3 times a thing is a thing times 3. The order changed. Order changing is commutative. What did it change around? Did the order change around a addition sign or did the order change around a multiplication sign? 3 times stuff, stuff times 3. Y'all, what if we go PlayStation style on it and say 3 times stuff is stuff times 3? Not even the 3. God! I hate you. There we go. Y'all, what if I get rid of all of this? What if I get rid of all the numbers and I just say this? What says triangle times square is square times triangle? Commutative property of multiplication. All right, Damon over here. First shot. Okay, it's commutative property of multiplication. It's going to be like this on your quiz. There's going to be some that are really, really, really easy and blatant and obvious. There's going to be one that's a little bit mixed up and trying to mess with you. Okay? Maybe another way to look at it is with, here. The 4 plus 5 does not change. 3 times thing is thing times 3. That's just commutative. Okay? Just watch out for it. Sometimes we're going to mess with you. Okay, below that, we're starting into the exponents. Follow exponent law. Follow those steps that we just wrote down. Very first thing you need to take care of is, do I have an exponent on parentheses? Do I have an exponent on parentheses? Not on the parentheses. Step 2, rearrange it if you have to. Turtles with turtles, giraffes with giraffes, penguins with penguins. If all of this is being multiplied, how about I take the numbers and put those together? How about I take the x's and put those together? I'll take the y's and put the y's together. Now this stuff is still all being multiplied. But if I rearrange it like that, is it easier to see? What goes together? So step 1, exponent on top exponent. If I have to, take care of that. Step 2, rearrange it if I have to. Step 3, follow the rules. Are 4 and 3 exponents? No, they're regular numbers. So do regular number stuff to them. What's 4 times 3? 12. Are the x's exponents? Yeah, they got exponents with them. What number is right here? Not a 0, because anything to 0 is 1. Little invisible 1. Remember, just like there's an invisible 1 in front of x, and there's an invisible 1 under the x, there's also an invisible 1 as an exponent. We just don't write them all the time. What do I do with an exponent times an exponent? Look at your rules. Rule number 2. Exponent times exponent, I add them. Okay, I heard you. So 1 plus 3 is x to the 4th. Same thing, exponent times exponent. I'll add them. Y to the 8th. Are these the same kind of critter? Turtle, giraffe, penguin. You do not take a giraffe and a penguin and tell them to get together. Okay? Fun to watch, doesn't accomplish anything. So it's done. Just leave it there. Okay? You cannot combine these because they do not have the same base. It's just done. Y'all, number 3 on your quiz is going to be the same way. You rearrange it, multiply exponents of the same base by adding their exponents. It's going to be set up the exact same. You're still the one doing it. Number 4. First step is always, do I have an exponent on parentheses? Yeah, I do. So who gets that 2? Everybody. So you get a 2. And you get a 2. And you get a 2. So this guy had a little invisible 1 there. I'll just put the 2 there. What do I do with an exponent to an exponent? Check your rules. Multiply. So it's 3 times 2. That's 4 times 2. Technically right here, I should probably write it. There's a little invisible 1. I'm taking that times 2. Okay, they're all getting it. And then simplify each piece. This is 2 squared. This is b to the 6th. This is c to the 8th. Are we done? It's close. What can I still do? 2 to the 2nd power. I can actually evaluate that one. 2 squared is 4. I still have b to the 6th. I still have c to the 8th. It's a turtle, a giraffe, and a penguin. None of them going to hook up, so we just leave them as is. They just kind of stand next to each other. Cute little menagerie. Okay. I don't know, is dopey cute? Because giraffes look pretty dopey. Like, you ever just look at a giraffe's face? You can almost hear them say, like, they look dopey. Llamas remind me of like you can almost hear a banjo playing in the background. Hi there. Or like the guys from King of the Hill, I'll just stand there going, yep, uh-huh, that'll do. How about right there? 5. I see an exponent on parentheses. Who's getting the exponent? Everybody. Everybody. Okay, so this guy, you're getting a negative 2 times negative 2, because we already said exponent to an exponent. This guy, also getting a -2, which means times a -2. Take care of each piece. I get a 5 to the -2. I get an x to the what? -18. Are 5 and x the same kind of critter? No, so I can't put their exponents together. But what can I do? I see negatives. You're too negative. Go downstairs. Make it positive. Well, you're too negative. Go upstairs. Make them positive. Okay, so he's going to come upstairs as an x to the 18th. He's going to go downstairs as a 5 squared. Now are we done? I can still take care of the 5. Remember, x and 5 are not the same critter. Do not try to put the 18 and 2 together. Okay, turtle, giraffe. But what is 5 squared? 25. So that's x to the 18th over 25. Again, 25 is a regular number, x to the 18th is an exponent. One of them has regular number laws, the other one has exponent laws. They're not the same, so don't try to combine them, you just done. Oh, cool. And finally, number 6. There you go. Like Kylo Ren meme. More! Got to make it bigger. Do I see exponents on parentheses? Don't have to deal with it. So, are there any negative exponents that maybe I want to just move now? Nope. So now it's turtles with turtles, giraffes with giraffes. These are regular numbers. Regular numbers, 3 over 9. Don't just jam that in your calculator and say 0.3. If you do that, I'm going to fight you at the skate park. Okay? After school, you, me. Skate park. I'm putting it on YouTube. Okay? But what do 3 and 9 both have in common? A multiple of 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So I've got a 1 up here, I've got a 3 down here. Take care of the D's. I know you're frustrated right now. I just want you like following with, and then when you come up here, I will be writing the review part next to the test part. Okay? I got you covered, man. You're okay. All right. This one. You don't have to do it if you ain't ready for it. Okay. Because you were out for a day or two, right? So if you ain't ready, you ain't ready. What do I do with d to the 8th over d to the 6th? Check your rules. I heard a started with an S, ended with abstract. Yes, I heard several of you say it. You just need to be louder. You're loud about everything else. Okay. So this is a d to the 8 minus 6 is d to the 2nd. Now here's the catch. That 1 up top was a placeholder when nothing else is there. I now have a d squared up top. I don't need the 1 as a placeholder anymore. because there's something up there. It's like your friend doesn't need to hold your place in line when you're in line. You're already there. Okay, so we're going to simplify that down to just d squared over 3. Those are not the same kind of critter. I can't combine them. You tell me, what kind of notes could you write on here? What are things that would help you do this or remember to do a certain thing? Because you get to write them on here and you get to use it on your quiz. Like, any of these stupid little phrases of mine make sense to you, and that's just what clicks. As soon as you hear it, that makes me do the thing. Could you just write next to this, turtle with turtle? Would that like trigger you to remember the thing? Okay, if it works, use it. If it doesn't, don't. Those rules. Y'all, do we know the rules? We've written them down several times. I refer back to them all the time. It's only 7 rules. Do you got it? Okay. Do you have that little note card? Or that one spot in your notes? Because you ain't getting that picture on your phone. Remember? Cool? Let's do this.